Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bio 181. My name is Wes Swenson, and I'm excited to be here with all of you. This is my second year teaching at CAC. I've been doing adjuncting since about 2018 at other community college, and this will be my first semester as a full time faculty member at CAC. First of all, I would like to thank the lead professor Stevenson for sharing her materials with me. I'm sure that there will be a few bumps along the road as we navigate this course with you. And so please reach out to me if you spot any issues or errors on my part or if you're having any troubles. But I think we're going to cover a lot of really interesting topics in this course. And that's me in the middle, the overly ecstatic student researcher studying the algal food pyramids in the Arctic of Alaska. I've worn several hats with doing research. My current research is at Arizona State University, where I study biofuel production in algae. And so you can see a giant algal cultivator on the left there. And on the right, we have smaller bubbling flasks with algae. They're called cyanobacteria that produce biofuels. Again, this is me on the right. I have a plethora of cats, dogs, I have chickens and a goat, and that's my wife on the left, and our newly welcomed child there that I am very excited about. Course information first. You may contact me via email. It's wesley.swenson at centralaz.edu, but I much prefer keeping everything in Blackboard so I don't miss anything. I get a lot of emails, um, and not all of them are pertinent to me, but if I get a Blackboard message, I know that that's important. So please use the Blackboard messaging system. This is a 4 credit hour course. It will be an online delivery modality. Um, you may, for office hours, come see me in person, though. I'm at both campuses, Maricopa and Signal Peak. Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. Wednesdays, 8 to 9 a.m. And Signal Peak, 12 to 1:30 p.m. Now, there is a caveat there. I do have labs right after each one of those office hours. So I will need to get out the door just a little bit before the end of office hours there. But you can also catch me virtually on Blackboard Collaborate Monday by appointment. I'm available between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. You may sign up for a meeting at the Calendly link. That link will be in the syllabus. You do need to sign up for an appointment within with at least a 24-hour notice. So if you do not log in there within 24 or with a 24-hour notice, those time slots will not be available. So you need to be cognizant of that and make sure that you sign up ahead of time for those virtual meetings. For the course format, it is asynchronous online, which means that you can work at your own pace. However, there are deadlines. So I will require things to be submitted by a certain time and date. And that's perfectly acceptable with an asynchronous online course. And the exams are going to have a limited time in which they're open. That way, all the students are kind of marching along together, and we make sure that we're kind of staying in lockstep there. The lecture videos are available online. I do all of my lecture videos through YouTube, so anybody can access them through via their phone or their laptop or pad or whatever. Labs will be completed using lab kits. And the materials, the information that we're deriving this course material from is the OpenStax book, the Biology 2E. Um, but everything you need is going to be within each weekly module. You don't have to go out and read the OpenStax manual itself. You will be required to use your Blackboard and CAC student email. So you're required to check that regularly as part of your role as a student. You need to stay up to date with course announcements, and those will be done through Blackboard. And then occasionally, if I'm not able to contact a student, or for some other reason, there are rare situations where we must communicate through email. You are required to check your email on a regular basis. You will need a webcam for this course as well, and that is because we use Lockdown Browser Monitor for exams to keep the integrity of the course and shape there. And you will need to order your laboratory kits. We'll discuss all of this. But first, let's go over the point system for the course. Here's a breakdown of the assignments for the course. There are 4 exams, each worth 100 points. There are 15 lab activities worth 20 points, and each week there will be a lecture. Associated with the lecture will be checkpoint questions embedded in the lecture to test general knowledge and to ensure you are following along. After completing the checkpoints, you will tackle the assessments, which are not easy. They aren't rote memorization. They are meant to assess the depth of your understanding and critical thinking skills and use the information you've gleaned from the material to solve problems. You have to take the class on campus, the class exams on campus. Please let me know 24 hours in advance so we can get it set up with the testing center. But otherwise, exams are going to be taken on Blackboard using the Respondus Lockdown browser and monitor. And there are instructions on how to download this under the section that says Start Here on the course in Blackboard. If you do not have a computer with a webcam, you may go to the loaner.equipment at centralaz.edu email and request one. But get on it. It is a first come, first served, and it's going to be a necessary component here for taking the class. So for the exams, for getting things set up for Respondus, please review the guide on Blackboard, download the software, and take the practice test. You'll get 5 points out of it. For exams, you're going to have a 1 week window to complete each exam, except for the final exam. That well, I'll open it up a week ahead of time, but I usually recommend students not to rush getting in and taking that. It is a comprehensive. It will be 45 minutes, so make sure that you're well prepared. They're to sit down for 45 minutes straight in a single sitting. There are no bathroom breaks. You have to stay in front of your monitor for the entire time, or else I'll need to assign a 0 for that exam. Exams 1 through 3 cover only the previous unit. They're not comprehensive. The final exam will be comprehensive. And they're usually going to be 40 multiple choice matching questions worth 2 points each, plus 3 to 6 short answer questions worth about 20 points each. The exams are worth 100 points each. So, what are the requirements while taking the exam? Well, you're going to have to do a environmental check to ensure the integrity of the course. We need to see what's going on around you because you're not in class where I can watch and monitor, nor are you at a testing center where you're being live proctored. So we need to make sure that everything is clean around the room. You shouldn't have any notes or books open or other electronic devices at your desk, including a phone. Okay, so you're going to give a 360-degree view of the room and your desk space. So you're going to have to turn your monitor down. I don't care if it's fixed to your screen. You'll have to figure out a way to get it off of your screen and tilt it down and show me your desk as well. Or else we won't be giving points out for that exam. So just be extra thorough there. You will get a chance to practice it during the practice download respondus quiz. So don't worry. I'll take a look at all of those and provide feedback there. And as I've discussed, we must stay present with the monitor at all times. And This one's a little tricky, but you must look at the screen for the duration of the exam as well to ensure, no student. There are 15 lab activities, basically a lab assignment each week worth 20 points apiece, and they're completed at home using lab kits you need to order through the bookstore. There are some materials that will be provided by the student, basic, kitchen items or things that you can get at any grocery store. And I recommend everyone get these kits ordered as soon as possible. It's just like if you had to order a textbook for a course, it would be expected that you'd have that at the beginning of the course. Please get these kits ordered no later than Thursday, August 18th. The lecture checkpoints. There's a lecture checkpoint for each lecture. So there's going to be 15 worth 5 points apiece. Um, you're going to take the questions down from the lecture video. So this is kind of making sure that we're all watching those lecture videos. What you're going to do is write down the question and you're going to submit your answer on Blackboard. When you go to Blackboard, you're not going to find the questions rewritten there. So you can see in this example slide, you're going to have a checkpoint question there. You're going to write down that checkpoint question because when you go to Blackboard, don't expect it to be there. It's going to be blank. It's just going to have the number. So this is checkpoint 10. So it'll say 10 there. You already wrote down the question, so you know how to answer it. So that's how those will work. Lecture assessments, 15 lecture assessments, again associated with each lecture, each worth 5 points apiece. They're short essay questions. These dig in a little bit deeper as discussed. They're going to really test your critical thinking, problem solving skills, your ability to connect the dots between different pieces of information. Okay. Study guides. There are study guides here to guide you through what you need to know for the exams. They're ungraded study guides. They're for your own self-assessment. Um, I, I I recommend that you use these more as checking for your own comprehension, not just a fill out the study guide and then you're done with the learning process. You're also going to want to use checkpoint questions. You're also going to want to look at the assessment questions and use those to guide your ability to do well on the exam. The labs are not a part of the exam. So you don't have to worry necessarily about studying the lab material in preparation for the exam. Attendance. Yes, it is asynchronous, but there is attendance here. If you submit complete assignments during a week, you are considered present. If not, you will be marked absent. And this is important because the college requires anyone who does not participate for 2 consecutive weeks without notification to me and providing an excuse to be withdrawn from the course. Late assignments can be turned in, but there will be a 10% deduction for every day late. The exception to this are the exams. There is no late turning in an exam. It will close at the due date, and that'll be final there. Academic integrity, very important for an online course. Again, all written assignments, including exams, will be screened by Safe Assign software. So we will be checking for plagiarism here. I am a stickler when it comes to plagiarism. It will not be tolerated in this course. Everything must be written in your own words. So do not Google answers to questions. Use your textbook and lecture materials. And I can tell when a student oftentimes Googles an answer because they'll use all sorts of jargon that's not associated with the class. And that, obviously it's not something the student even understands or comprehends. I can't tell if the student understands the answer to the question because if they're using words that we haven't gone over, definitions, terminology, a depth and breadth that we haven't analyzed, I don't know what you know and what you don't know there. So just don't use Google. Okay. Just pull it from the textbook and the lecture materials, and you're going to do great. The first infraction is a zero score on the assignment, and the second infraction um, is going to be a failure for the course for academic dishonesty. And let's take a little closer look here at an example of what writing in your own words means. So I have this question here: what is environmental science? And if we go out and we Google the answer here, we go to Britannica.com, sorry for the typo, you'll find a definition. Environmental science is an interdisciplinary academic field that draws on ecology, da 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 da. And a student finds that answer and they post their own answer, basically not saying things in their own words, but just changing a couple words so it doesn't maybe seem so obvious to the safe assign. It will be triggered absolutely by safe assign in the way that the student has done it here. Changed environmental science to the pronoun it. Said it is the interdisciplinary field, so they got rid of academic there, that looks at, so instead of saying that draws on, they say that looks at geology, ecology, meteorology, chemistry, biology. So they've rearranged the list there. Instead of saying to study, they say to understand, and then they reversed human impacts in environment and environmental issues. So basically, the student, you know, used their synonyms, changed a couple words out, changed put in a pronoun there, rearrange the order of some of the words. This isn't in their own words. There's no way that we can confirm that a student really understands this question, the answer to this question. Another student, though, writes it much differently. Environmental science is the study of the biotic and abiotic, which just means living and non living components of the environment and how they interact with one another. To do so, it combines the fields of many sciences, such as biology, physics, geography, oceanography, etc. So here we can see that this student put some thought into it. Okay. This is writing in your own words, and this is what's expected of every student. If you have special circumstances, such as being a student athlete or you have registered accessibility accommodations, please alert me as soon as you can. You need to be registered for that so we can make the proper accommodations for you. Tips for being successful in Bio 181. Don't fall behind. Check Blackboard and your CAC email regularly. Stay on top of assignments. There's no point if you're going to do the work anyway to lose 10%, 20%, 30% and on for turning in late assignments. And you want to study regularly and form good habits. Studying is not cramming. You're not going to do well on an exam if you put it all off at the very end there. So if you can form a schedule where you study a certain time or a little bit every day, you're going to be successful here. Uh, and you need to ask me for help if there's something you don't understand. You can't just put down I didn't understand it or it was too hard as an answer. Just reach out to me. I try to make myself as available as possible, and we can work through it together, either through messaging or through office hours. But we'll get through it. I can't help unless let me know. So good communication is going to be key for both of us here. And I have a little first week to do list. So again, order the lab kits from the bookstore. Just do it right now after you watch this video. Complete Lab 1. This is an introduction to the laboratory. Yes, I said labs are worth 20 points. This is 10. We're also going to have some other housekeeping things we need to do. So I just set it for 10. You're going to download the Respondus lockdown browser monitor, and you're going to go through a practice test where you get to use that and get feedback from me on how you're doing with your environmental check and so on and so forth there. Um, Read the syllabus and complete the contract questionnaire um, that's linked there. That's all under the Start Here module, and complete the quiz. So all three of these are easy peasy, 20 points when you put them all together for the first week here. Then you're going to go and watch the chapter 1 lecture. Check and then remember to write down the checkpoint questions as they come around, and then you'll submit your answers to those on Blackboard, and then do the assessment, which again is going to dig in a little bit deeper there and really make you think. And that is the first week's to-do list. If you have any further questions, please let me know. I'm here all week, and good luck to all of you. Thank you.